Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bullet Points, where we get to review all sorts of outdoor gear and firearms. Today, we've got a brand new suppressor on the market by Dead Air. This is called the Primal. The Primal is not a small suppressor by any stretch, weighs in about a pound and about 8 inches. So it is a pretty sizable suppressor, but I'm often asked, if I were to buy one suppressor, what would it be? And I can't say because I haven't shot this yet, but the fact that this is so modular with so many calibers, this might be kind of that one suppressor that can go across all of your host guns. It can fire anything from 22 all the way up to 458 SOCOM. You can get your high pressure calibers in there, your 6.5s, you can get your 300 Ultra Mags, etc., etc. So again, being that this thing is extraordinarily modular in caliber, I'm wondering how it's going to do with sound suppression. Obviously, if you have a 22 going through a 458 hole, it's going to allow a lot of gases to escape. So we'll see how it does on a variety of weapons we have. But the thing that I really like about it is the fact that you've got a whole host of mounting options. If you've got a tri-lug, you're covered. If you've got a half, you're covered. 5/8, covered. You can even set this up to where it's in a direct thread configuration with your favorite couple of rifles. So we've got a couple ARs, couple bolt actions, some handguns, some 22s. We're gonna go ahead and run this thing on every single one of them, and I'll tell you guys what we think. 22 subs. .22 subs out of a rifle. .22 long rifle, standard velocity out of a pistol. Still pretty damn quiet. Standard velocity, 22 out of a rifle. Getting a little bit louder, but still does suppress it quite a bit. 9mm. .556. 6.5 Creedmoor. 6.8 SPC. All right guys, so we just got done shooting the Dead Air Primal, which is probably the most caliber versatile suppressor I've come across. We fired 22 subs, 22 long rifle, fired 9, 5.56, 6.5 Creedmoor, and 6.8 SPC. It did fairly well on sound suppression. You know, the more powerful calibers, the 5.56, the 6.8, the 6.5, they were definitely louder than other suppressors. But the fact that this thing can go on basically any caliber in your gun safe does give it a few points. So first, the negatives. It's a bit long, it's a bit big, it's a bit heavy. I mean, nearing a pound. This thing feels comical on the end of a 22 pistol. It even feels comical on the end of a 9mm. So it's a little bit big and bulky. Other than that, and not being the quietest suppressor I've ever shot on any of those host guns, that's really the major negatives to it. The positives, I mean, the fact that you can buy one suppressor, go through one tax stamp process and wait your 9 to 11 months in purgatory and have a single suppressor that can go on anything in your gun case is pretty badass. So I'll give Dead Air some serious credit there. No major malfunctions with cycling. You know, it handled basically everything we threw at it. I believe you can get smaller end caps for this to kind of shrink this down. So if you are running one of the smaller calibers, you can put something a little bit different on here and kind of trap a little bit more of those gases. But all in all, pretty decent suppressor. I wouldn't say it's the quietest thing I've ever shot. I wouldn't say it's the loudest I've ever shot. you know, but technology behind it and the mounting options certainly help weigh in its favor. Got a lot of friends that ask me if they were to buy one suppressor, what would it be? It's a really tough question to answer. I mean, it's kind of like if you could only have one pair of shoes. Are you gonna have a pair of running shoes, pair of boots, you know, something comfortable, something dressy, you know, so it's really, really hard to narrow it down to a single suppressor. If you want one thing that's gonna go on all of your host guns, this is about the only thing out there. Again, it does pretty well across the board. It does real well with sound suppression. It's a bit big, it's a bit bulky, but it'll do the job. So if you're looking for one suppressor, I'd say this is it. If you're more of a purpose-built guy like I am, you're probably gonna wanna invest in a couple of different suppressors. Maybe something for your smaller calibers like your 22 and your 5.7, and then something for your larger calibers, you know, 308 can or 300 caliber can or something like that. And then maybe something for pistols like a 9 or a 45. So again, I'm more of a purpose-built guy. I would go with buying 3 different ones, but if it's not in your budget to sit through 3 tax stamps and 3 different waiting periods, then this is a really, really good option for you. So a big thank you to Silencer Shop for letting us shoot this today. Had a really good time with it, and Dead Air, rock on guys. This thing is pretty badass, really well built, and I can't wait to see what you guys come out with next.